everybody, welcome. I want to show you a little bit about what I'm eating on a regular basis and talk a little about what you should be eating on a regular basis. Now, who am I to tell you what to eat? And I could tell you I'm somebody who cares about your health. I'm somebody who suffered from an illness at a young age, and I've overcome it. And I know how the body works. And I know most people are suffering out there because they're putting things in their body that shouldn't be in their body. And I also understand the way the body works in terms of why people are getting sick, why people are getting diseased. But I also understand the confusing part of health and why people supposedly are getting better and getting healed on diets that aren't ideal. See, the body works in a way where it needs certain things to thrive and other things will help it just to survive. But in my understanding, there's a big difference between surviving and thriving. And most people out there are just barely surviving. They're not thriving. A lot of people think they're eating healthy. They think they're doing good, but then they get diagnosed with a disease or they're walking around overweight and they think that that's okay. Folks, that's not okay. Your body is either working towards health or it's working towards sickness and disease. Okay? And you have to determine what path you're on. Are you on a path of health or are you on a path of disease? Because ultimately that's where you're going to end up, healthy or diseased. And the longer we can go with health isn't the answer before we hit disease. We should never hit disease if we're doing the right things. So basically I eat a diet of just fruits and vegetables, a raw vegan diet. Here's some papayas on my tree. I try to grow as much food as possible where I live. I live here in South Florida. I have another fruit here called the black sapote. These are within season now, so I don't just try to eat raw fruits and vegetables. I try to eat raw fruits and vegetables that are in season. I try not to eat fruit and vegetables from other countries. I try to eat locally grown food and just try to eat as natural as possible. And then I have some, as you can see, some bananas right there. I just pulled off my tree. There's some more bananas up there on the tree. And coming soon is mango season. So here's some mangoes. These are little baby mangoes. In season, locally grown mangoes that I can get to eat. And what else is coming in season now? There's something called jackfruit. So here's jackfruit. In season, locally grown, ready to eat. And so that's the way I do it. That's the way I try to do it. I try to eat as healthy as possible and keep things as simple as possible. When we complicate things, when we make it harder for our bodies to digest food, when we make it longer for us to get the nutrients from the food, that's the problem. Remember, folks, the ideal foods for the body are the foods that are going to give you the most nutrients while creating the least amount of energy to get those nutrients. Most people do it the opposite way. Most people will eat foods with the least nutrients and making it harder for the body to get those nutrients out of it. So when you go and understand getting the most nutrients while using the least amount of energy and think about what foods do that, and you come up with the answer, which is pretty much raw, ripe, fresh, organic fruits, vegetables, and you could say soaked and sprouted nuts and seeds. So those would be the ideal foods. Now, a lot of you would say and thinking, well, very good for me that I can grow my own food. Here's some more grown food. This is a mamey sapote here. That's another grown food. And then here is coming into season now is white sapote. Some of these foods, many of you haven't even heard of, but these are foods that are available and delicious to me here in my environment. And you might be thinking, well, I can't, or you can't get that in your environment, so what are you supposed to do? Well, you can certainly grow your own food. Like I got a garden over there. You don't need fruit trees. You could have a garden. And you could mail order, get many of these fruits in the mail. I could put some links below where you can get them in the mail. But you say, well, I don't have room for a garden. What am I to do? One of the keys that I have found to being healthy and doing this successfully long term is sprouting and microgreens. And you can grow that in your house no matter where you are in the world. It's inexpensive and it's the highest quality food you can get. And I would possibly say even higher quality than my own grown fruit or my own vegetables, because sprouting and microgreens are living foods. And I have a video that I did that teach people how to sprout and do microgreens and I'll put the link to that video below. But that video alone will teach you how to grow your own food in your own house so you can get locally grown food and you can start thriving and start working towards health, not towards disease, not towards a survival or surviving way of thinking of, well, I just want to survive as long as I can. That's not a healthy way of thinking. The healthy way of thinking is, I don't want to end up in a disease state. I don't want to thrive as long as I can. I want to thrive without any possible disease in my forecast in the future. Remember, you're either working towards disease or you're working towards health. And you decide which one it is. And everything you're going to put in your body, everything you're going to put in your mind is determining that. And your daily life and the way you live and the habits you create, what you decide to do will determine that as well. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing a daily routine that is healthy. And if something's keeping you from that, whether it's from the mental or the emotional brainwashing that the mass media gives to say, I can't do that because, you got to break free from that. Or I don't want to do that because, you got to break free from that. Who doesn't want to be healthy? Sick, mentally disturbed people don't want to be healthy. So you got to fix that. Fix your mental mind and stop getting brainwashed by the mass media and everything else. You can be healthy again. No matter how sick you are, no matter how overweight you are, no matter how depressed you are, you can overcome all of that. And I would highly be positive that you can overcome that quickly by changing your mindset and the way you eat. Now, everything else will change from that. Your sleeping patterns, your thinking patterns, your life patterns, your depression will turn into joy, your disease will turn into health, and you will be better. You will get off that road of going towards the path of sickness and just in that survival mode. I'm just trying to survive as long as I can, to that thriving mode, saying, I know I'm eating what my body was created to eat, and I'm not going to get sick. I'm not surviving as long as I can. I am moving towards health, always. And I'm always going to be healthy. And that's what you can do. So there are ways to start off with, depending what your diet is, depending what you're eating. The first thing you need to understand is the food you're putting in your body are going to determine your whole environment of what you're doing. So health doesn't begin what we add to our diet. It begins what we eliminate. Eliminate the things that are creating the problem. Get rid of the processed food in your diet. That's step one. Get rid of things that are in a bag, box, container, or can. The only wrapper around your food should be the skin around the fruit or on a vegetable. Get rid of all the processed food in your diet. The less processing you do, the better it's going to be. The more simple and close to earth you eat, the better it's going to be. If you pick something off the tree and eat it, it's going to be much better than getting something in a can that's been processed or a bag that's been processed. So eat fresh food. Don't eat processed food. Now, you'll do yourself a great benefit if you can get rid of the animals and the animal products in your life. I know this is difficult because people have been doing this a long time. But as you can get rid of those things, you'll start to see your health improving. Remember, health begins with what we eliminate, not what we add. We eliminate the things that are creating the problems. Then you can start to search out and find out, well, what foods are the best for me? Where could I get the highest quality, not the store-bought fruits and vegetables that aren't the highest quality, but where can I get the highest quality foods? And that might mean going to a local farmer's market, finding a local farm. You might not be able to grow, but one of your neighbors might be growing and selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace or something, or going and finding stuff through the mail. Finding good quality food to replace the junk that you got out of your diet. So you're getting those nutrients, you're not putting the toxins in. These are the ways to heal. Other things you could do is get rid of your microwave oven. Terrible thing, the microwave oven. Replace it with a juicer, a great thing. And then use the juicer. So get rid of your microwave oven and get a juicer. Use the juicer. I recommend juicing vegetable juice and microgreens. I don't recommend juicing fruit juice. I recommend, when it comes to fruit, eating the whole food so you're getting the fruit with the fiber. But the greens, you can get those nutrients out of the greens through juicing and through microgreens. without having to break down and chew and work all the vegetable matter. If that's an issue for you, it makes it much easier when you're juicing. So I do recommend juicing vegetables. I recommend eating fruit. I'm also recommending microgreens and eating salad greens. They're wonderful as well. And remember, anything with a seed is a fruit. So there are high sugar fruits and low sugar fruits. And you can eat a good mix of those. Learning something called food combining, which teaches which foods are ideal for you to eat, when to eat them, how to eat them. These things are things I've been teaching for the last 30 years and learning myself the ideal way to do these things. And I want to help you to do that as well. So follow this wherever you're watching this video on social media, and then you could follow me there and see my daily updates. But I have tons of videos on these different topics. And the reason I do this is because I was sick at 20 years old or 19 years old. I was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, and I didn't know better until I learned better, and I'm on the way to path to health. And I'm trying to help you get healthy as well. So put your comments and questions below. Thanks for watching. Follow me on social media. I'll put those links below. Until then, everybody, have a great day and a great world life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.